Hi, it's me Leo back again with another video. Today I'm going to do a review of a product that I bought about a month ago and kind of give my opinion on if I recommend this for you to buy. And that was the Pixel Buds Pro. So about a month ago I decided to get these earbuds. I'd previously been using these AirPod Pros. I broke my iPhone and ended up upgrading to a Google Pixel 7, and it turns out that these AirPods are terrible when paired with these with Pixel because they just don't connect on their own. There's just a whole bunch of problems. I had these for about 2 years, so I thought it would be worth an upgrade. So I went and bought these Pixel Buds Pro. So here we go. So I've bought the black version of them, and I've had them for about a month. I paid about £80 for them. Retail they're about 180, so I found them on eBay brand new. So that's what I'd recommend you do if you want the best price. Obviously I've already unboxed them because I've been using them for the last month, but I'm just going to go through what kind of comes in the box. So you've got your paper box, should come apart, and then inside is obviously where the earbuds are, and then there's some what looks like lip balm, but inside there's actually space for the larger and smaller ear tips. If you've got an Android phone, these, especially the Pixel, these pair really well with the Pixel. They come with an app that's already pre-installed on the Pixel. You can download it from the App Store, I believe, if you've got any other Android phone. So I think the best way to do this is to compare it to what I'd been using previously. So I've been using the AirPod Pros for about 2 years. I'm going to compare them to see whether or not these are actually any better or worse than these AirPod Pros. Before I move on to any kind of comparison, I just want to say I paid over £200 for these about 2.5 years ago when they first came out. And I only paid £80 for these, both brand new when I got them. So we're going to go sound quality. I'm actually going to say these sound a bit better, these AirPod Pros. I'm not very good at describing how what makes them sound better. I think they're just a bit more clarity. These can tend to sound a little bit muffled in comparison, but they both sound good. One area that these do win though is battery life. So I'm getting about 8 hours, I believe, from these when they're in your ear, as opposed to about 3 to 4 hours from these. But I believe the second gen version of these does have a bit longer battery life, so we just compare it with the first gen because that's all I've used. The next thing I'm going to do is try and give my opinion on the kind of comfort of either of these. So we're going to start with the AirPod Pros. The AirPod Pros are just the standard. They fit in my ears really well, and they feel very light. And to me they feel like they're not going anywhere. But this all depends on like your individual ears. Yeah, they just go in really well. And they've got very nice controls of the stem where you've got to squeeze, whereas the other day I was on a run with these and I found that these actually take a bit longer to get comfy in my ears. Yeah, I mean they fit eventually, but I sometimes have to shuffle them around until they fit properly, which can take a bit longer, whereas the AirPods I seem to get in first time. But once they're in, they're okay. I would say they do feel a bit more uncomfortable. Like I do notice that they're in. I think they're just generally a bit bigger. Well, I can't even speak. There are these earbuds that I'm not a massive fan of is the controls. They use touch controls, and I find when I was on a run using them, so they're in my ear, I was touching them. As I was touching them, it was kind of causing them to fall out a little bit or become a bit loose, and then it's not as good. Like when you double tap to change track or skip a track, you have to get the timing between your finger tap kind of perfect, otherwise it can register it as you're changing or you're putting on a noise cancellation, or it pauses the track. So I found that a bit annoying, but I mean they're okay for running. But I think these are probably, to me, a bit more comfortable and easier to control, but I don't know if that's just because I've been using these for longer. But I mean I have been using these for a month. So I'm going to say the comfort and controls go to the AirPods, as well as sound quality. The battery life goes to these Google Pixel Buds. Comparing the cases, actually, as you can see, the Pixel Buds are a little bit bigger, but I think it's a bit more of an ergonomic design. It's quite nice to hold. Obviously this is still quite nice to hold, but this is more like a pebble. And then the hinge mechanism, I always thought these had a really good hinge mechanism, but I'm going to say the Pixel probably has a better hinge mechanism. This is more satisfying if you quite like sitting there just flinging that up and down. This has a more satisfying hinge mechanism than these AirPods. I went to these, and I've put a silicone case on both, just because they get scratched up, and Problem with the AirPods is if you've ever owned them, you know that they're quite shiny and it can get scratched quite easily. Another kind of area with these is noise cancellation and transparency mode. So they both have active noise cancellation. Strength of the noise cancellation in both of them is they're both quite similar. Both have quite good noise cancellation. If I had to choose a winner, I probably would say the AirPods. The noise cancellation is a little bit stronger, but it's comparable. They both have quite good noise cancellation. One area that the AirPods are a lot better than these are with the transparency mode. The transparency mode on the AirPods is significantly better. It's almost like you don't have them in when you got the transparency mode on, because everything just sounds very clear. As opposed to these, you have it on, you can hear what's around you, you can hear traffic, but it just sounds a bit muffled. And you do notice that you have them in. So I find myself, instead of using transparency mode, just taking them out. Whereas with these, I would just walk around with them in, because you just don't notice, and they're so comfortable. So they're the main areas comparing these two earbuds. Obviously, my opinion, I think these are actually a better earbud overall. They're just a bit more comfortable. So I'd probably, if you've got an iPhone, recommend the second gen. I think it's kind of a so yeah, no brainer. If you've got an iPhone, these work perfectly. Android, on the other hand, there's a load of Android earbuds. I've not used a whole bunch of them, but if you've got a Pixel, I think these are good. I don't think they're worth £180, to be honest, whereas I feel like these probably are worth that much. But if you find these on eBay brand new for under £100, I would recommend these. So I paid 80 for them, so I'm reviewing them as if they were an £80 pair of earbuds, which they're not, but you can probably get them for that price. These are a very good £80 pair of earbuds. Yeah, so I personally feel that these are quite a good solid pair of wireless earbuds, and if you've got a Pixel device, they pair really nicely. So the main issue for me was the pairing. It stopped me using these just because they paired so poorly, and I just have issues trying to get them to connect. So that's all gone with these, even though these are slightly less comfortable. There's a few compromises, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this comparison of the Pixel Buds Pro and the AirPods, and my kind of thoughts on the Pixel Buds Pro. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section. Just a channel update. So for the last 5 years have been doing a medical degree, and I've actually finished that now. And I'm going to start working as a doctor in a month and a half. So I've got a few weeks off, and I'm going to try and just become a bit more consistent on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe, and I'll see everyone in my next video.